Illustrated with Stampin' Up. Welcome to my craft space. I'd like to introduce Micah, who is our guide dog puppy, and he is often in my craft room right between my feet. Sometimes we have Bud and Newman in here as well. The room is in guest room mode, so I've got my file cabinets turned around. We've got baby toy storage and kids books of all kinds. I've got older kids storage. I've got my big shop with Legos behind it. I've got a bin for the diapers and the changing stuff. And I've got my bookshelf. My bookshelf is just a bin holding my taggers and my paper sampler and my other supplies. And behind that are some extra adhesives and some other supplies I don't use very often. Next to the Murphy bed, you might see the porta crib. And this is where I keep my 12 by 12 paper. Just a quick peek. We have 12 by 12 paper of all kinds in a Ziploc bag. I have my Simply Scored, some 12 by 12 cardboard, some envelopes for mailing, and these are the 12 by 12 bags that I have ready to sell. And I have my customers' order receipts. Micah likes to help me out, don't you, Micah? But to be honest, this is what it looks like more often. I've got my computer out, my big shot is down. I spin my files around. This window is usually open so I can see the bird feeder outside. No birds there right now, but the backlight won't let you see what's going on. And I have my television over here that can swing out of the way. Love that. One of the shows I like to watch is Tiny Houses. One of the things I like about the tiny house shows is how they can use every tiny little crevice. And I do try to follow that philosophy in my craft room. I have this cabinet installed to kind of go with the Murphy bed, and it looks kind of messy right now. I have 3 plastic bins with stuff that didn't fit on my main storage shelf. I don't use it all that often, but I do have everything that's in here filed in Evernote, and in my Evernote note it tells me where it is so I can find everything that's in there. I am left-handed, so right on my left side I have my cutting tools and my adhesives. My Stampin' Trimmer is usually right on the desk. I have my extra stamped dimensionals, my tear and tape. I have an extra multi-purpose liquid glue. I have my snail. I still use my fast fuse. I have WD-40. This is on a pen, so this is really good for cleaning products, and it is also good to use on our new Stampin' pads. When they are new, they sometimes have a hard time sliding, so if you just run a little bit of WD-40 in the track right there, they will slide easier. I have my foam strips and some 2 by 8 cellophane bags. I keep my silicone mat folded up in this little skinny box. I will not give up my stapler or my crocodile. I have my paper piercer, my snips, my bone folder, and some markers, and my ever-present third hand. Use that every time I tie a knot. In the second drawer, I have my bow maker. This is made by my friend Gidget. I sell these on my website if you're interested. I store this upright so it's easy to spot and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I have all my threads and baker's twine, my ribbons, my washi, extra ribbons, my embossing powders and glitter. This is usually where my heat tool is, but I've got it out for a workshop coming up. You'll see that everything has labels on it, so I know what it's called and where it is in the catalog. In the third drawer, I have the first of 3 drawers of my full-size cardstock. I store it in alphabetical order. Peeking out from here is this is my RGB code and autocorrect. This is kind of my cheat sheet, so if I want to use a color on anything I print on my computer, I can enter these colors. And also, if I'm typing and I want to type Stampin' Dimensionals, I just have to type capital D, capital I, capital M, and autocorrect fixes it for me. This is also an extra surface, so if I want to spread out a little bit more, I can put my trimmer on here. On this side, I keep my Stampin' Scrub and blocks. I have quite a few blocks. I have my sponge daubers. I have the insert with all the colors. And so if you want Mango Melody, you just grab the corresponding square here. I keep them sponge side down so that they don't ink up my chart. I have the color coach that Stampin' Up! Has offered for us that we can just print up. I keep hand sanitizer and my Stampin' Mist and some microfiber cloths. I try really hard to keep my blocks and the backs of my stamps clean. So a lot of times I'll just wipe them off. That does it usually. If not, I add a bit of hand sanitizer and just clean my blocks. I also sometimes clean them in the sink with warm soap and water. And just keeping your blocks clean will keep those stamps from falling off. So I always keep my cleaning supplies with my blocks. In the second drawer down, I have cardstock that's in, this is actually my heavy duty bags that I've cut down. I put a little divider on each bag. Unlike my full sheets, I keep these in rainbow order. So I have this bookmark with rainbow order if you're interested in it. I loved having the rainbow order from the catalog last year. In the bags I have some card bases already folded, ready to go. Some card layers that are ready to go as well. So I have my layers cut already. The medium card size is 5.5 by 4.25. So I have my layers cut down to 4 by 5.25. I also have some Whisper White that is cut to 5 by 3.75. My other basic layer is 4.25 by 2.75, and the Whisper White and Berry Vanilla are 2.5 by 4. So that makes really quick and easy card layers ready to go. I am trying really hard not to keep a lot of scraps. So if I have a scrap that can be cut down to my basic layers, I put it in here, and if it's smaller than that, I might keep 1 or 2 for cutting. I tend to get tons of the same size scraps, more than I could ever possibly use. I have all of those stored in those photo boxes that you can get at the craft store. I have my envelopes ready to go, Whisper White envelopes here and Berry Vanilla here. In the bottom drawer I have the second of 3 of my cardstock. Here's drawer 3. Plus I have my Big Shot platforms right in the front. They're in a little cardboard box, so they stay all together. I also keep my Big Shot die brush and the foam that goes with it right there, and also my Stampin' Pierce mat. In my fourth deep drawer I have extra copy paper. I have order forms, I have my magnetic sheets, I have all my extra labels ready to go on new products. I have all those specialty papers like shimmery white, glossy white, multi-purpose adhesive sheets. I have some scraps of window sheets, my vellum, and my watercolor paper. In this cupboard, I have my stamps. I keep them in alphabetical order. Each of the stamp cases has a stamp case slip. The spine has the catalog that the item came from and also has the section of the catalog. So this is from the Love, Thanks, and Support section. It's color-coded along with the catalog. I have the page where you'll find this. If it is a red rubber stamp, I have both the wood mount and the clear mount item numbers on it. And on the back, because I share my catalog resources with people all over the markets, I have the French name and number, the German name and number. I also have the recommended blocks and the products that the stamp set coordinates with. When I get to the end of the alphabet, I've got my stamp case slips. and my large labels. I have my basic toolkit, and I grab this when I'm stamping on the go, when I'm stamping at a friend's house or traveling, and it really has all the essential supplies here. I also have my taggers, and then I move into all of the supplies that I can fit into stamp cases. So I have thinlits, I have embossing folders, I have things like the tiny treat boxes, I have embellishments, and I have my Stampin' Blends. They are in acetate boxes. I have my markers. These are my in colors. There's not enough room in the Many Marvelous Markers box for all of our markers, so I just keep my base colors in here. I've got some blender pens and some of those specialty pens like the journaling pens and things, my chalk marker. And then I keep my in colors in the box they came in. And then I have my punches. I have all my circles together. I have my scallop circles. I have my banner punch and my scallop tag top punch and my border punch. Then I have my labels, and then I have my flowers, and then I have the shapes like the cat and the balloons and so forth. Above that is my 6x6 storage. So I have my 6x6 paper, I have my 6x6 embossing folders, and some of those framelits that come on the large sheets. Another shelf that has my clear cases for supplies like framelits and things. And then there was just a little bit of space at the very tip top that I have spare cutting plates for my Big Shot. This, by the way, is a media cabinet. Media cabinets are not as deep as regular bookshelves. This is designed to sit on the floor, but I have it sitting on my counter and also kind of hanging on a bracket in the back, so all the weight is not on my shelf. And all of my file drawers can lock up. That's especially important for the one with all the sharp things. I have a few important things. In this box I have a card for each month. My friends and family on here, their birth dates and their anniversaries and other important dates, and I've got all their addresses that are really handy. I also keep stamps handy in that box. This is my temporary stamp storage. It's very, very temporary. I have a video showing how I make these boxes, and since I'm in the process of switching over to the new sizes, the new boxes are a little bit smaller. So when I get them all switched over, I will adhere this better. Our new stamp pads stack up nice and neat, and I could keep them on the shelf like that, but I think if I were wanting to grab a color from the bottom, I like being able to just grab and go. The latest thing I've added is that I've put labels on the inside. The boxes are made out of the cardstock for that color. So I have the box made out of Mossy Meadow, and I have a Mossy Meadow label inside. These just sit on my windowsill. My window actually comes down lower, and I have hung a shelf here. The nice thing is there's just a little bit of space below the shelf that I am keeping my chamois on. This window is usually open. It will get moldy especially in California, and so I leave it slightly open with that window back there so it can dry out. Ask me how I know it gets moldy. This is my first one. It's turned white because it did get moldy. I tried bleaching it. All the purple came off. Some of the ink from stamping came off. Most of the mildew came off, but I keep that up there too. So now I've got two. This box has some papers that I need to refer to, some gift cards that I need to cash in. This is my current bottle of multi-purpose glue. I don't know if you even know that this has a big end to spread the glue around. I never use that side. It's got the brush tip. This is the pen tip. This is the side I always use. This glue is really thick, and so I keep it tip down so that all the glue is at the tip waiting for me. I have my Stampin' Dimensionals, erasers, my paper sampler, this is where it lives. My ruler is attached by magnet. Again, it's upright, not taking up much space of its own, and yet I can find it. So I keep my card stock filed in alphabetical order. I keep my card bases and layers stored in rainbow order. I keep my stamp pads stored in color families with the in colors and the specialty like the memento and the stays on over here. I'm looking for a little container that will fit here for my Stampin' Spots. I decided to actually just make a couple of boxes so they fit just perfectly there. So that's my craft space. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope that you found some ideas that you can use in your stamp space. Now you've got a better idea of when I'm recording what my space looks like. It's usually got lots of stuff on the counters at that point. I look forward to showing you my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.